Hello and welcome to Faith with Flavor. You know, the holidays are quickly approaching, and before you know it, you will find yourself indulging in all kinds of tasty treats and meals to your heart's delight. Being healthy is probably not a top priority in light of sharing delicious meals with family and friends. But God still wants us to take care of our temple while we enjoy ourselves. So how can we indulge without overdoing it, you might ask? Well, personal trainer Adrian Ceja is here to give us a few tips on how to keep our bodies healthy all year long. But first, take a look at what I have every morning for breakfast as I teach you how to make my morning smoothie from home. Hey guys, welcome back to Faith with Flavor. Today I want to show you what I have for breakfast every single morning. It is my green smoothie and it is pretty healthy. I like to take it before anything else goes inside my body. So if you want to learn what ingredients I use in my green smoothie every single morning, please keep watching. Okay, so the first things first, you want to have the right ingredients that are going to go inside your smoothie. This is what I do personally and I love it. It is very tasty. I've tried several different kinds of smoothies in the past and I always come back to this one because I just feel it's so tasty and it's so filling. So first things first, what you're going to need is about a cup of handful of spinach. I love spinach because you can't really taste it in the smoothie and it's just a superfood. So about a cup of greens, about another cup of frozen pineapple. This is my favorite. I love pineapple. It is a natural fruit and I like it frozen because then it keeps everything cold once it's blended. And then also you're gonna want a scoop of protein powder, whatever protein powder you use. I personally use whey. It's a vanilla whey. So you don't want to do a chocolate because that one will just make everything taste weird. I think vanilla is probably the safest, but any brand that you want, whether that be vegan or whey or whatever you want. You're also going to want some coconut milk or almond milk. You're going to want 2 cups to pour into your blender. So I'm going to show you exactly how I mix everything inside the blender step by step. Okay, so first I'm gonna add my 2 cups of coconut or almond milk. Today I'm using coconut milk. So there's 1, here's 2. Okay, next I'm gonna add my pineapple. And now my cup of greens. And next is your protein powder, 1 scoop. And last but not least is you want to give it a little bit of flavor by adding a splash of orange juice or pineapple juice or whatever you want. I do orange juice, so just a little splash like that. And you're ready to blend. Just want to press on the blender. I start with mince. So what you want to do is you want to keep blending until you cannot see any particles of dark green or anything. It's all one color and you can see it's all a beautiful light green color. So now you're ready to drink it. And you're just going to pour it into the cup of your choice, like so. And you're done. Bon appetit! So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in to Faith with Flavor. I hope that you enjoyed, my smoothie and that you try it at home and that you make a choice to constantly be healthier every single day. God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning into Faith with Flavor. I would love to hear if you tried the smoothie and liked it. So let me know on any of my social media sites, or you can visit my website, lifewithdonna.com, and email me directly. And now, without further ado, here is personal trainer Adrian Ceja. Adrian, welcome back.
Thank you for having me in your house.
So good to have you.
I gotta try that shake, by the way. That looked really good.
Yeah, you know, honestly, it is super tasty. Like I was saying in the video, I always try different ones, but I always come back to that one because it is like my go-to. It has the best taste out of all the ones I've tried.
And there's protein in there, right?
Of course, you know it. You
Now
have to have the whey protein in there. But let's talk about you. You know, we're here to talk about you and your fitness journey and everything that you've been through. But when did your love for health and fitness begin?
Oh gosh, since you called me for the show, no. Gosh, I would say really straight out of high school. I think it was kind of one of those things that I stepped into in the most vulnerable state of my life, where I was just very like lost and stuff, and a lot of my free time went to just exercise. I felt like that was the only way to kind of build myself up, and then plus the insecurity things and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I think mainly right after high school, I believe, is when I really started hitting it and stuff.
And what kind of insecurities did you go through in high school?
Mainly, you know, I hated when I had a crush on a girl and she didn't like me for whatever reason. I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I was overweight and
you were over. Wait a minute.
I
wait
was.
a minute. You were overweight.
Yeah, I was. I really.
I find that very hard to believe. Because look at you now. I mean, you are.
Well, hey, the victory.
A lean, mean machine.
The victory has been good. The victory has been good. No, yeah, but I think that was one of the biggest things, and just not knowing who I was and my identity and stuff, and not just not being edified as a man and stuff. You know, I come from my parents are both divorced and stuff. You know, so we didn't necessarily have that authoritative father figure in our house and stuff. You know, so as a result of that, I was just very living in the world before I knew Jesus and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, those insecurities, I just want to touch on that a little bit because it's so normal. You know, like when you're in high school, like I can't think of anybody that like has it all together and really knows exactly who they are and what they want to do in life. You know, it's so normal, and you know, it's sadly a lot of children and kids and high schoolers get bullied. Like, what do you have to say about that to, you know, kids that are getting bullied in school?
Yeah. Really finding a way to build yourself up. I think that if we're dependent on other people to build us up, you know, I think once we just always turn to the Word and stuff, but always just encouraging ourselves. And you know, I don't think I mentioned this before, but I'm a youth leader at my church. So one of the things that I've actually told my youth was, you got to look in the mirror and you got to just declare God's Word over your own life. And I think if we can do that, and we can just start to believe it in faith, what God has called us to do, I think that that alone would just totally edify us, and that alone would just give you that reassurance of who you are and stuff, you know? So really totally just finding a way to encourage yourself. Yeah.
That is so true,
and
you know.
Pulling out the strengths out of you.
Yeah, because we need to know as children of God, we need to know who we are and who we belong to and whose we are, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you do at the youth leader? You're a youth leader. What do you do for serving and stuff?
I am over, because it's so large, there are different teams. So one of the teams that I'm over is called Team Care. So we go over, process all the new team members and stuff with applications and background checks and interviews and stuff, you know, because it's a larger ministry, there's just a lot more room for error. So it's just important for us to have some really solid people part of the team. So that's one of the things that I'm over.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, getting back to why you're here, why do you think that God wants his children to be healthy?
We have to be the best representatives of Jesus Christ. And I think that also applies to our bodies. You know, the Bible talks about how our bodies are the temple of the Holy Ghost. And so we have to be able to live that out. And so obviously we can either be for it or against it in the way that we eat or just overeat and things like that. And so obviously exercise is a good factor to that, because we can just maintain our fitness and just stay healthy and stuff. And the book of Hebrews talks about how we need to run with endurance the race that was set out before us. And if we can apply that physically, many, many great things can happen. I've had the opportunity to work with and just train pastors and stuff. And when I get their perspective on this, I'm like, wow, they literally told me like, you made my life better. And I'm like, wow, like to hear that from them. And now these pastors like mentor me, which is awesome, you know?
That's so great.
And so there's kind of like a mentorship like going on between us too. So it's awesome. And just to hear their perspective on what living before the Lord looks like, also physically and in our bodies. Yeah.
I agree with that so much, because physically we need to be fit. And, there's so many people that have so many things going on in their lives. We are constantly busy, especially if you're a believer. You're working in the kingdom, you're doing things for the Lord, you're doing things at home. You're trying to be good at everything because you know that you carry the name of Christ with you wherever you go.
Yeah.
But when I don't work out, I feel sluggish. I'm not as fulfilled in what I'm doing. I don't do it with all the energy that I'm supposed to. So I believe that very much. God wants his children to be healthy. Now, I'm not saying that to say I'm perfect, because I do have my slip-ups like everybody else, where I'll have a pizza with my husband at home, or, we'll stay in and won't go to the gym. But it's definitely important.
And if we're not living up to par, it affects us in our ministry as well. I mean, I've heard from them too, like, I have more energy now, I just feel better, I'm just more clear. And so when I hear those things, I'm like, that's what it's about. Because it's not always about having the perfect body, the best body, and the six-pack abs and stuff, but just maintaining your fitness and staying healthy, feeling good and feeling well, so you can just deliver.
So that you can be energized and be productive and, run, like you said, with endurance, a race that is set out before us, because we all have a calling to follow, and we can't do it unless we're physically fit. Amen.
Able, incapable, right?
Exactly. Now, another reason why I brought you here is because, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and with that being said comes all these amazing meals that we get to indulge in. How can we indulge without overdoing it and, continue to just keep a health-conscious mind, when we're going through?
Can I start with what I do, actually?
Yeah,
okay,
please.
So
You're the expert here.
One of the things that I do is I'll get up really early in the morning, I'll go for a long jog, some kind of workout where I'm just like burning crazy calories, right? Normally what I'll do, and I'm not suggesting everybody do this, but normally what I'll do is I'll reduce my carbs throughout the day. If carbs are our primary source of energy, which we use like throughout the day through physical exercise, or just to doing anything physical, then if we can actually reduce them throughout the day, because we're very likely to consume carbohydrates through our Thanksgiving dinner or whatever it is. So obviously, let's say it in the day. So I would reduce my calories earlier in the day to have some wiggle room for, the heavy meal that's going to be at night. So some kind of exercise, I think, would be definitely helpful to keep yourself from really overindulging, because overindulging doesn't feel good here either.
It does not.
So you want to make sure that it doesn't like go on to the next day, because that does not feel great either, obviously.
Yeah, and then you have a food coma and you don't know what to do with yourself. You just want to lay in bed or do something, and nothing works, right?
So I'm guilty too in doing the heavy eating and stuff, but there are some little tricks in between that you can kind of maneuver through to help you still feeling lean the next day.
Okay, so go on a run. Lower your carbs. Okay, what about for those people that don't like, I love running, but I know a lot of people, my husband included, that do not like running at all.
Reduce your calories.
What would you recommend?
Reduce your calories. If for example, like in my house, for sure we'll have, that's more Christmas, I guess. I'll give that as an example. For Christmas, we'll probably have like some champurrado. Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah, champurado, of course.
That's really good, but it's also really heavy. So let's say, for example, you're regularly a soda drinker, which I'm not, endorsing soda. But anyways, you can cut out the soda during the day, so you can have, some room for those calories from the champurado,
That's so good.
Other kind of traditional drinks people have.
Now, you really intrigued me when you said that you were overweight, and I know so many people that struggle with their weight on a daily basis. How did you get to the point where you were making that decision to be healthier every day? Like, how did it start for you?
Man, I remember my uncle, he took me to the gym with him, and I think just having that help and that support and stuff, I think it sort of it was in place at such a right time where I needed some kind of guidance and stuff, and I think just sort of adhering to his advice and his counsel in that area specifically. I think it really helped me. But to get to the point of exercise, I think I just saw people where I felt like I was just very quick to be like, I want to be like that. I want to be like that. I started to compare myself to other people, which the comparison game can weigh so heavy on people. And that's the first thing we in fact should not do, especially when it comes to fitness, because, and then we can't find our own strength, you know?
Yeah.
So with what I advise people to not do now is what I did. So like a lot of my tips and, you know, and advice and is literally straight comes from my experiences.
Wow.
Either through what I learned through myself or just through other people. But yeah, that comparison game, that was a trigger for me. I was like, why am I comparing myself? Like, why do I hate myself right now because I don't look like that person? Or why can I not stand how I look? Or why don't I just didn't sit well in my body and myself and stuff, you know?
Well, you've definitely come a long way.
Thank you, thank you. It's been a long way.
Yeah. And we have a video to show all of you at home because Adrian also is here to share with us some workouts we can do from home. Take a look.
Hey guys, what's going on? Today I want to show you guys 2 exercises that I know you can definitely do at home or at the gym. You can definitely get the heart rate up and for sure to get those calories burning. Come check this out. One of my first exercises that I wanted to show you guys is an advanced style push-up. So you want to get into a push-up position. You want to keep your hands shoulder width apart, and I want you to actually keep your hips up for this. This is going to be mainly for triceps, but then of course also engage the chest in here too. You want to come all the way down to where your chest just passes the palms here. Come back up, stick your hips up in the air. It'll help to really engage the triceps here. Keep them nice and explosive. And if you notice here, I'm really digging into the ground and I'm pressing up. I'm really flaring up the triceps to really get my body up off the ground. So notice also here, I'm keeping my hips up. And of course, if you want something more advanced, you can just pick up the speed. So a great workout for somebody who's just a beginner or also a little bit more advanced. In fact, if you're a beginner, you can also try it with your knees on the ground. Just like this. Same idea. Same idea. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, it's something you can do 3 sets, 10 and 12 repetitions for sure to get the calories burning. The next exercise I wanted to show you guys was a squat. Now with this one here, again, something that you can do at home or at the gym. It doesn't require any kind of weight or any kind of machines or any kind of resistance at all. So that's why I really like this workout here. So you want to get in a squat position. You want to bring your feet just about shoulder width apart. You want to come all the way down, stick the hips out, all the way to where their hamstrings are peeled out of the ground. You want to pick it back up. That's your standard squat there. We're going to advance it a little bit. So we're going to explode our feet off the ground all the way up. So this is called the jump squat right here. All the way up. And again, you want to do 3 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions. Definitely get the heart rate up and get those calories burning like I was telling you guys. And of course, if you want to pick up the intensity a little bit, stay very explosive and pick up the speed as you need to, where you can modify it for yourself. Again, this is a great workout for the quads, the hamstrings, the hips and glutes, for sure to get your heart rate up, and of course, get the calories burning. Hope you guys enjoyed those workouts. If you guys know anybody who needs to know about workouts like this, please share this video with them. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so already. Also, visit my website at theneighborhoodtrainer.com and follow me on Instagram, Adrian Ceja_. See you guys in the next video. God bless.
Hey guys, welcome back to Faith with Flavor. If you just started tuning into the show, that was Adrian Ceja's YouTube channel where he gave us some workouts that we can do from home. Adrian, let's talk about your YouTube channel for a little bit. What gave you the idea for it? How did it come about? How did you start that?
I think first, just to have an avenue and a different platform to be able to show people workouts from home. Like you said, I think that we're moving into a place of more just people are busy and they just want to get a workout in and stuff. So, and people ask me all the time, what do you get exercise for this and for that and stuff? And instead of me like just telling them, I can say something like, well, I have a video on this and that and the other. So really just an avenue to people use as a resource to sort of have access to fitness and different things that I do.
Now, you being in the fitness industry, what are some trends that you're seeing? Because I mean, there's so many things out there that we can do, workouts. I recently just got into reformer Pilates, which I'm loving. But what are some trends that you're seeing out there?
Pilates is fun, by the way. I've tried that.
It is. It's a good workout. I mean, it sounds like it's not, but it really.
I don't think it was
hard.
reformer Pilates, but it was some form of Pilates, which is different than from what I'm used to. But like I said, we're entering into like the busiest times of our life, and people just want to get in and out. So I think just this rise of all these classes and boot camps just coming up at different gyms, I think those are some of the biggest trends that we're seeing today. And just the other day, like I was at the gym and I saw something about a cycle class and a body pump and yoga and all these different high intensity interval type of workouts and stuff. So those are definitely some of the things that that are increasing.
Yeah. What about CrossFit? That one's another really popular one right now. What do you think about CrossFit?
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily call that one something so new, although it is to a lot of people, but I think CrossFit's great. I think it's great for strength building, endurance building, great for somebody who wants to improve in their explosiveness, which builds up the strength. I think it's a great form of exercise. I think that too many people try to like separate all these different styles and stuff, but I think at the end of the day, it's ultimately what you prefer to do and what you like to do personally. You know?
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I mean, when I think of CrossFit, it's kind of intimidating, to be honest with you, because, you know, you guys lift heavy.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
I see some of the girls too, they just like lift really heavy.
Yeah, and it's super intense.
What kind of advice can you give girls who like maybe are afraid of lifting weights, you know, or, you know, there's a misconception with that.
Yeah.
But what would you say? What would you recommend?
Yeah. With all the women that I've helped and just talked to and stuff, I tend to hear the same thing. You know, they talk about toning and stuff and wanting to sculpt up in certain areas, but they're always very opposed to strength training, primarily because they're afraid it's gonna bulk up their muscles. And I don't want to look like one of those girls who, you know, they look all bulky and they probably take stuff, and it's like, see, no. See, well, first of all, if they take stuff, I don't know, but that's not necessarily what strength training does. Like, first and primarily, like, in fact, if you even want to tone, first of all, you're gonna have to do that strength training, because that's what toning really is, just bringing out the muscle and defining the muscle while reducing your body fat. So that's where the toning comes from.
Yeah.
So sometimes people will say, like, I don't want to lose weight, I just want to tone up. Well, see, toning means reducing your body fat so we can see that toning and definition.
And reducing your carbs, unfortunately.
Yeah, the dieting part, right?
That's the hard part.
So really just being open to resistance training and exercising with weights. It's going to take you so much further.
Yeah.
So much further, yeah.
What are some quick health tips that you can share, you know, health and fitness tips that we can take with us every single day, you know, no matter what time it is?
Staying consistent and not giving power to your discouragement or your hindrances, because we face things. I mean, we step into this new goal like, all right, starting Monday, right? Or the new year, right? Since we're coming into that season, we like declare it to ourselves, like, okay, I'm gonna start, but we're gonna start fresh, you know, and then all of a sudden something happens. Something just comes up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this, oh, that. And so
life happens.
So we almost start to justify our own excuses. And so really just staying consistent regardless of, you know, the things that happen to you, because things will affect you either internally or externally. So we really have to be able to stand strong on what we just declared over ourselves. So really staying consistent, not giving power to that discouragement. And then also too, creating and setting out measurable goals for yourself. So maybe it's not best really for you to start, you know, 6 times a week. That may not be measurable for a lot of people, but start, you know, 2 to 3 times a week. Go like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever, you know? And then over time, increase the days that you go, or increase the length of time that you're working out.
Yeah, I love that, because, you know, I have a whiteboard at home.
Wow, that's good.
I do, and I set like weekly goals.
That's
and
good.
The top 2, my number 1 goal is to pray every day. My second goal is to work out every day, because those 2, I feel like they come hand in hand. For me personally, it's just what works, you know, but I think that's so important that we set those goals so that we don't fail, you know, but we try to accomplish them on a daily basis.
And you know what? I was at the store the other day. I was looking for this. I was looking for like this like notebook of some sort, and I come across this smaller notebook, and it was like for like fitness people, and where you can jot down goals and things of gratitude and different things. And I was like,
That's
wow,
good.
we need to be doing things like this, you know, on a daily basis. You know?
Definitely. I want you to look into that camera for me, Adrian, and maybe there's somebody watching that really knows that they need to get their health in order.
Yeah.
And they're really struggling with it, or maybe they just don't know where to start. Would you just encourage them right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I don't know exactly what you're going through today, but just know that it is in the will of God for you to be healthy and for you just to be well. You have a calling in your life, and I believe that for you to fulfill that calling and for you to walk in that calling, we just have to be well spiritually and also physically. So again, I don't know what you're going through today, but the greater your resistance, the greater your victory will be. So I just pray that over you today, and the promise is set before you. They're already settled in heaven, so just receive that today.
Amen. Well said. Now, if somebody's watching and maybe they need a personal trainer and they want you, where can they find you?
Gosh, they can find me on Instagram, Adrian Ceja _. Also visit my site, theneighborhoodtrainer.com. There's a contact page on there as well with my email, so you can contact me there. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Adrian Ceja. You'll find me there. So enjoy my content.
Amen. Yeah. Well, thank you, Adrian.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure
Thanks
to have you back
me.
on.
It's good to see you
So
again.
awesome to have you. And thank you so much for watching Faith with Flavor. That's all for today for this show. I pray that the show has blessed you and really encouraged you to live a healthier life, you know, because you have to remember that you were bought with a price. So honor God with your bodies. I pray for you today that you would make a conscious decision to honor your bodies with good things. Please email me any comments or questions you may have regarding today's show. You can find me on social media and also at lifewithdonna.com. God bless you, and thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.